That's a separate video, though.
It's still a video. It still happened. It still happened.
We're talking about it as a whole. Jasmine, you keep bringing up the beach as a scenario. When a kid goes to the beach, is the kid's focal point girl walking out in the bikini, or is the kid's focal point building sandcastles and playing in the water?
They're still going to see it just as much.
Answer the question, yes or no.
Just answer the question.
No, see, you're making a big deal out of nothing, though.
No, what you're trying to say is
You are part of the problem.
No, you are the problem. You guys come in here and have spaces that are anti-LGBT.
We came in here. You came in here. No. Rewind. You came in here.
One at a time. Let's go.
If I could, I would like to answer the question that's honestly, I don't know, but realistically looking at the way the media is putting shit out here and the different things that becoming okay and then normalized, I would say yeah, because
And the thing is, man, they're not giving us that they're not. Everybody that came up here that was trans basically told us it's okay.
yeah, and it's not like from our point, like our perspective of speaking it like we hate. It's just being real about what the fuck is happening in the media. Cause I mean, shit that I wouldn't have really seen in a couple years ago on social media, I see it on a daily basis. Like, it's I mean, like the fucking love this shit. And I mean, people can live how they want to live and get to their own, but it's not to the point where they put this shit inside things that involve children. You know what I'm saying? It's like, anyone that says it's not really cool, child mind, I mean, y'all start off, y'all. This is the craziest thing. I was just watching a movie from like the early 2009, and I noticed some shit that was like, you know, kind of doing it way before it actually became a real phenomenon. Like, damn, how did I not see it? And then I was watching like, you know, more different things. I also saw something where they, I don't know who posted it, but it was something where they would get a drag queen come to the classroom and teach the kids drag makeup. Now, I'm not gonna tell about it, but what does that have to do with what does any of that have to do with kids? Like,
It has nothing to do with kids, Matt. And anybody that tries to get between it, and if it offends people, I'm sorry. Anyone that tries to make it seem like it's about the kids, you are a pedophile. Part of the problem.
Go ahead.
No, I'm a slow bleeder.
There's no such thing as a trans child. Period. That is called disembodiment.
Point
Okay?
blank.
That is called disembodiment. These people, and I know this because my daughter was socially transitioned at school, and I successfully implemented a program to make her desist because there's no such thing as a trans child. Okay? So, these people have caught on to the indoctrination woke hierarchy, and most of them are what is called AGPs. That is an autogynephile. An autogynephile is a freak. They are a freak that can't get with a woman, so they try to be a woman because then they can manipulate other girls into thinking that they're something that they're not. We would normally call these people incels, and there's documented cases of this. About 80% of those are white men who, because the oppression matrix has put them at the bottom of the totem pole, that they have to create some sort of oppressive characteristics that their immutable characteristics don't automatically give them, right? So in order to make this stick, They have to make it so that children are afflicted by it. Otherwise, nobody would believe that. This is how and why children are being used in this way and in this scenario. And they use things like emotional manipulation and emotional blackmail to make that work. So, if you don't let me trans, I'm gonna commit suicide. Go ahead then. Let's see you do that. Guarantee you, they will not. They will tell you that they have DSD, which I know for a fact that person did not have, that little Lily person. And that Lily person was not 32 years old. That little Lily person never saw the 90s. So that's exactly how they do this. It's called parallel language messaging, and it is a lie. They do this so that you can never attack them for their trans issues, because their trans issues all stem from some sort of psychiatric problem, something else that they can create that their immutable characteristics don't automatically give them, like melanated skin.
Hey, guys.
Yes.
Let's not talk about that they got more rights than a colored person. That's a whole nother topic.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make themselves a protected class because their immutable characteristics don't automatically give them that. That's the point. That's why they're trying to do this, because they can't function in society as a regular human being because they're weak. Normally we would call them incels, okay? Or like I said, AGPs. These are the guys that are bald, walking around, 55 years old, has only had sex twice, and both of those with prostitutes. They sitting in a garage, jerking off to their, porn addiction, and then going outside wearing skirts and whatnot, trying to talk to little girls at cheerleading camp. Okay, that's those guys. Yep, I'm talking to you, sir. I'm talking to you.
Hi, peace. Hey, guys, I'm gonna tell Monica like manage to throw out a magnificent speech and didn't even cuss.
I didn't cuss this time.
You did it.
Yeah, I didn't cuss this time. Woohoo! Did somebody record that?
Guys, I
Yeah.
have questions, so stick around, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so what I'm gathering as I'm continuing to sit here and listen, mental illness comes in all different shapes and sizes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could tell that person was a troll, like the questions they were asking and things of that nature. And I'm glad you said what you said, Alpha, like, as far as like attacking the mental disorder, like, you have to attack it, like, it's crazy, but yeah, it's proven to me that what we saw this weekend, what I'm listening to today, that teen community is the problem. They are the problem. And I'm glad you said what you said, Fred. Are they trying to get more rights than the black person? This, that, and the third? Man, listen, we at the bottom of the pecking order when it comes to any type of rights. The black person is at the bottom of the pecking order. So yeah, they will push all of this shit because at the end of the day, a lot of our politicians are in that closet. They will never come out of that closet, but they're stuck in that closet and they're changing the laws to benefit them and things of that nature. So, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and drop back down the listener, but I just wanted to say that mental disease, mental disorders comes in all different shapes and sizes.
Go ahead, hack proof. Alright, good discussion with you guys. I think we're getting somewhere. Gav, you're very knowledgeable, and I really appreciate your insight in this topic, because you're fighting against it firsthand, personal experience, and that's invaluable to have people like you on our side to protect our children. and I agree with a lot of what people are saying. It's just, but it's part of the agenda. You know, this is a part of it. This is just a part of destroying the nuclear family and getting men out of the way so it's easier to attack everyone else. I had something else, and I'm trying to remember it now, but that's okay. I can shut my mouth and let somebody else go.
Thank you so much, Scorpio, Alpha, Shanika, Chris.
Okay, Gad, so let me know what the law is. If I go out in public naked, and people can see like my vagina, what would happen to me? Will I be arrested?
Depending upon what state you're in and what your mental condition is. I mean, if you're clearly
if I decide right now I'm in New York and I don't feel like wearing clothes and I want to just live free, will I be arrested?
Not usually, but sometimes, yeah. I mean, I saw some naked people in New York just a couple days ago, but yeah,
I've never seen anyone naked except a naked cowboy, but his genitals are covered.
Right. So, I mean, no, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yes, you will be arrested
for indecent
exposure. Yes.
Okay, the guy that was just speaking, I went to his Twitter account, and he was in the hospital with his dick out. He didn't have a vagina, by the way, so I guess he was going for surgery. But why the fuck am I allowed to see this on Twitter?
Because Twitter doesn't have a policy against pornography, and they don't have a policy against indecent exposure. But you know what? We should be holding them accountable, because one of the things that happens on Twitter is child pornography, because we don't know, they're not required to show the ages of any of these people who are naked on camera, and also having hardcore pornography on camera. They don't require that the actors in these little shows or whatever show their ID to make sure they're over 18. So child pornography is very prevalent on a lot of these porn sites. Now, when it comes to stuff like the autogynophiles, well, we call that porn sick limp dick. So they have to have extra porn, and they have to have an extra kink in order to make themselves aroused, because they've jerked off so much and watched so much porn, it has literally changed the brain chemistry. So this is like part of the issues that I fight and the issues that I face and the things that I had to learn in order to effectively help other parents stop their children from being medicalized. As long as they're in the social transition stage, then they have a chance. If they're in the early stages of this transgenderism cult, and that's what it is a cult. I researched all about how this transgenderism, social media peers, and reaffirmation with their schools has affected especially girls who would otherwise be lesbians. It is an attempt by Big Pharma to medicalize them for the rest of their lives. Say you start as a 6-year-old that is, your parents have said, oh, you're trans, because they're not special and their kid's not special, so they got to do something, right? So they're trans now, and they're going to give them puberty blockers. By the time that girl child gets to be 16 years old, she's going to have osteoporosis. And before that child turns 18 years old, they are going to be a lifelong medical patient and a lifelong psychiatric patient, because almost all of these people who transition without with the full support of their parents ultimately have all kinds of psychiatric issues that they would otherwise not have.
So I just want to get back to this online thing, right? Because I am in technology, and I swear to God, I'm done with this. So in 1998, Congress passed the Child Online Protection Act. The law set stiff penalties of $150,000 for each day of violation and up to 6 days of prison, up to 6 months in prison. We cannot allow this to be on an open social media where children will come on and see someone's dick. If they want to do this, Twitter can prevent them from having a public open account, and then it needs to be locked down. They need to prove that they are over the age, and it could be the adult porno side for Twitter. But this is ridiculous. We need to take some legal action, because even if we just report their account, they'll just open up another one. This is insane.
But this is the problem, okay? Tech companies have the 230 protections, right? And not only that, but we have laws already on the books that all of these people on every spectrum of this ridiculous nonsense, they're all violating all of these laws. Now, I filed the first federal lawsuit in America against woke ideology, okay? And one of the things that happens is that these, like I said before, parallel language messaging, that covers an array of different tactics and different ideas that the schools and the businesses all push out into the world to twist language. Most of this is a commodification of our linguistics. So they changed the language. They've changed everything about it. So nothing means what it's supposed to mean. So they're able to get away with all kinds of things because parents don't understand what they're talking about. They use word cyclones, word salads, redefining of words, gaslighting, a straight up lie. They straight up lied to me and told me that CRT was not in my kid's school. I knew that it was. They told me that they were not violating my child's rights. I knew that they were. They're violating his First Amendment rights, his Title VI, Title IX, my 14th Amendment rights, and a host of others. So I sued their ass, and we're winning. Every parent needs to go to your school and sue somebody. I guarantee you, they will settle within the first month. That's $100,000 down on your brand new house. Or $5 worth of gas, whichever five gallons of gas, whichever one, you know.
Gabs, can I ask you a question? This, what the parents are experiencing with trying to feel special by having their kids be like trans, has that been like considered Munchausen by proxy?
Yes, that is Munchausen's by proxy. So to ascribe some sort of medical problem to your child that they don't have in order to gain 100% Munchausen's by proxy. And this has been something that parents, especially mothers, have been suffering from for years. And our society has paved the way for Munchausen's to flourish in this way because we have told everybody is special. Now, when you have a kid and you can see they're not special, they're just a regular old kid, not to say that there's anything wrong with that. I'm a regular person. I put my drawers on one leg at a time. So there's nothing wrong with being normal, but we live in a society where the Kardashians are perfect, but they've had hundreds of thousands of dollars of surgeries, and so now we all need to be we need to be a Kardashian, or we need to be an athlete, or we need to be, all of these things that we see on TV. We're conditioned to make ourselves more than what we are. And instead of doing that with hard work, we're told that we just are supposed to have this quote unquote gift. Now, if your child is born and they don't have a gift, then you put a dress on them and they're gifted, automatic. And that is the Munchausen. Then they say, like this one person said, he was intersex. Well, he's a fucking liar. Okay, because if he were intersex, he would have talked about what his intersex. Well, first of all, they don't call it intersex; they call it DSD. And if he had it, that's how he would have referred to it. But there's a bunch of different kinds of DSD, and anybody with DSD will tell you they are not trans. Their gametes decide what they are. So if you have the right gametes, then you're a girl. If you have the right gametes, then you're a boy. That is down to a cellular level. So even if you are in possession of both sex organs, which I can tell you most most people with DSD don't even have both sex organs fully, right? It's not what we imagine. Okay. So, but even if you do, you are not trans. Intersex is the intersex is also on a binary. It's a mutation of your binary sex. So a mutation of your female sex, but you are still in possession of gametes that make you a girl. I'm picking y'all some good knowledge right here. Don't let these people lie to you. And don't let them trick you by making you feel sorry for them. They're liars. They're AGPs. They're freaks. There are some, and let me tell you something. I'm not coming from no transphobic. Hey, look, I lived with a cross-dresser for years. Okay, I'm not in any way, shape, or form, some prude. Okay, I was a stripper, but guess what? My daughter has never seen my twerk. She has never seen my pole work. You know why? Because it's not for children. Neither is drag. That's adult stuff that only adults should be engaged in. And if a child is there, you need to look at that parent and say, what are you doing to that child? That parent needs to be investigated. That parent needs to be explained to that this is inappropriate behavior. Drag shows are full of drugs, sex, nudity. They're not for children. And a lot of them, especially the one that we found in Houston the other day, there was a drag prom. The exact same prom was sponsored by a group that had previously tried to have a drag queen story hour in Houston, Texas, and they did not do their proper vetting. So guess what? They had a pedophile reading to children. A lady named Tracy Shannon shut it down, and you can hear her talk about that tonight on Texas Talk. We're not playing with these people. I swear, as I live and breathe, I will get these fucking people out of our children's schools. I'm done with this nonsense. Okay? I don't have nothing to lose. And every single man out there needs to be chest bumping these dudes that are jumping into the swimming pool with your daughter. Because they are in the dressing room taking their clothes out of show and waving their dicks around because they think that shit is funny. Everybody needs to be pushing back against this. Everybody needs to be talking about this in their churches. When they go to the barbershop. When they go to the nail salon. You need to be talking about this with people. Because this is not a coming out story. Okay? This is a social contagion, and if you don't stop, then you're going to raise a bunch of children who will not be able to properly have sex. They will not be able to get stimulated. They won't be able to achieve orgasm, and they will not be able to have children. We're breeding a generation of sex addicts because exposing children to sexual images at a young age promotes sex addiction. It messes up their brain chemistry forever. This is what we fight. This is what I fight every single day.